Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike. Y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the Jeep Perspective, and y'all know what's up. Follow me on my socials at George Mike Perez on Twitter, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, GMike Media _, and then the podcast, the audio version itself, is available on all podcast platforms under the Jeep Perspective and on YouTube as well. This week, we got an exciting conversation for you guys. A long-winded conversation, but awesome throughout. I bring on some old guests to talk about their favorite NFL teams going into the NFL playoffs. So we got the Philadelphia Eagles, how they could secure the #1 seed. We got the Detroit Lions, who will finally make a playoff spot in so many years, and it's very exciting to see. And then we got the Denver Broncos, who have been out of playoff contention for a few weeks now. And we talk about what they need to improve this upcoming season. I got Nick Wilkins coming on, Logan Peter, and Justin Frazier. Great conversation, interesting, very entertaining. And hopefully you guys stick around, subscribe, hit the like button, and share some comments. Maybe talk your smack. But let's get into it, baby. My boys, what's good with y'all?
Yo.
Logan living lavish over there in Philly, Justin over there in the St. Louis area, and then my dog Nick over here in Florida. You know, we Florida boys over here. How's everyone doing, huh?
Yeah, we're all Florida boys at heart. Come on.
Well, I am. I don't know about y'all, but
I've been here long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, bro. Great season that we've had in the NFL, man. I know y'all been excited, especially Logan over here and #1 team in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Chill out, bro. Still a whole nother week, bro.
Justin
can't wait to snake that spot.
I think you should skip me.
Justin is over here fucking thinking about 2015 Denver Broncos, 2014. Nick is actually happy once for his lifetime with the Detroit Lions.
I wouldn't say happy. I'm a little bit more content than usual.
But real quick, man, before we get into the teams, man, great news coming out of Buffalo that with the situation with Damar Hamlin, the situation that happened on Monday Night Football when he made a tackle and then collapsed right after the tackle on the field. Everyone was worried. It was a scary time for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Right after that, he went unconscious, did not wake up, so they had to give him CPR and an oxygen tank while he was getting into the ambulance. But great news now, the Bills are saying that he is recovering very well, showing signs of getting better, and hopefully he could breathe on his own soon. Just real quick, I wanted to get your reactions on if you guys were watching it, what exactly you were thinking, because I know there was a lot of scary thoughts that was going through a lot of people that were watching the game.
It was like a surreal moment because at first it sounds desensitized, but like we've seen players get carried off on stretchers before, and they give the thumbs up. But then the longer it goes on, it's like, okay, so what's really happening? And then, of course, through social media, you find out they had to bring it out. They had to give him CPR, and this happened and that happened. So as the night went on, it was like I was just in shock that had actually happened. I personally had never seen that, and I watch football probably just as much as the next person. So it was just all surreal, very sad. I'm super happy that he's doing well or doing better. I even saw this morning that he actually has become responsive and squeezing people's hands. So, like you said, George, hopefully he's able to breathe on his own soon, and hopefully we don't see anything like that again.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to see it. My flight got delayed. I was supposed to get home from Michigan before the game, and then I ended up landing around 10-ish, and I seen on my phone that the game got postponed. It was like still in the first quarter, and I was like, man, what's going on? And then I see social media blew up, my phone blew up. People are like, yo, did you see what happened? I'm like, no, I didn't see anything. I didn't see a thing, but I've seen a lot of people were posting pray for Hamlin and stuff like that. And I was like, man, it must have been bad. And for the fact that they didn't continue the game, it was like, because like what Justin said, I've seen a lot of football, but I've never seen them just completely postpone the game for something like that. So it was sad. I mean, I didn't get to see what happened exactly, but I said a prayer for sure.
Yeah, no, I was watching because your boy's in 2 fantasy championships. So, of course, that game had big implications for me. And, obviously, before the game, you're thinking, yeah. Like, dang, I got a chance to, be one step ahead of my boys, be able to talk that talk to them. And, that's all I was really thinking about. And then everything happened so quickly. There was one drive back and forth, and then, Burrow got the ball back. And to me, it kind of felt like the perfect storm. I mean, a lot of the times you hear like football hits are almost like car crashes in a certain way when they can come in full-on collisions that obviously you're wearing pads and things of that nature. But when 2 grown men make that much contact that often, sometimes the perfect storm happens. And I kind of think that's what happened to Damar Hamlin. And like Justin said earlier, this morning they did say he was awake holding the hands of his family in the hospital. So he's now responsive. So that's huge news for everybody involved. It was scary, man. I think the scariest part about the whole thing for me was looking at the players' faces, because like you guys all mentioned, we've all seen injuries before happen. Like I was watching the Eagles game earlier in that day, and Josh Sweat had a pretty gruesome looking neck injury at first. And then when they put him on the stretcher, he, gave him the thumbs up and was smiling. And by the end of the night, he was on Twitter telling everybody he'll be back before the playoffs start. So it's like, sometimes it's like that. And then other times it's like, wow, Josh Allen just kind of looks like he just saw a ghost. Like that's kind of scary. And it's something that those guys are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives, because they saw something that they probably never thought they'd have to see on the football field, especially considering one of their brothers, one of the people that they've been with for the last, 25 weeks ish, including OTAs and training camp. And I just feel for his family. That's something that I hope, none of our families would ever have to go through, or anybody. You don't wish that upon your worst enemy. Like having his mom's there to watch him play the game he loves and the game that he is playing to support her and the rest of his family. And to have to ride to the hospital not knowing if he'll have his life, it's scary. But it's great news what's going on now. And I know his agent did just come out and tell everybody, including CNN, that he's been responsive and he's made incredible progress over the last 24 hours.
Yeah, man. So I was getting home from the gym actually, and then my boys were writing on the group chat as well, sending me the post, whatever, this and that. And when I got home, it was them still circled around and trying to see what's up, getting the ambulance there and stuff like that. And then I had seen a highlight out of it on Twitter, and once I saw it, I had a feeling it had to do something with his heart, because the way that he just came up, you could tell that it was all adrenaline, and then when he stood still, he just collapsed to the floor. So you could tell that it has something to do with his heart. And then it took me back to my first game, my senior year, that one of my boys, well, 2 of my boys, because one on the opposing team and then one on my team. Um, the dude on my team, he was getting a kickoff return and he grabbed the ball, and my boy on the other team was coming like at least 20 miles per hour straight at him, and then he was not paying attention to where he was coming from, and there was a head-to-head collision. Went down to the floor. Ambulance came, this and that, took him to the hospital. Then we found out that it was a blood clot in his brain, and then we had to play right after that. And I remember me and a couple of my teammates were like, "Yo, forget this. We don't want to play. Like, we want to go and check up on our boy and this and that." So like when the refs and everything during the Cincinnati Buffalo Bills game were taking all this time to cancel the game and this and that, like I already knew. I was like, yo, they gotta cancel this game. None of these players want to play once they see their boy, or even on the opposing side. When you see you see a player just go down and collapse like that, you're not gonna be thinking about, oh damn, we gotta make the playoffs. Oh damn, we gotta win this game to get the number one seed. No, man, it's all about like just being a human, bro. And you see that happen, you want to end the game right then and there. And I know exactly how that feels. Even after the game, my senior year, my boy on the opposing team, he came with us to the hospital, and he felt like complete shit. Because it's just a freak accident. Like it happens.
Well, it's funny you say that too, and like I see a bunch of people talking to T. Higgins and like giving him a bunch of crap about like the situation and things like that. And it's like, how can you even like do that, bro? Like you act like T. Higgins was the one that was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put you down right here. Like, come on, bro. Like that's just something that is just like uncalled for. It's
Yeah,
like I don't
it's
understand
ridiculous.
why people have to like even come to the assumption like that, because like you just mentioned, your boy, they already feel like shit enough. Like obviously they didn't want that to happen, and now they feel as if they're the ones that did it and instigated it, so they're already gonna feel that extra, the extra ramifications of the entire situation. I just think that stuff's kind of messed up, man.
Yeah, man. And I know my teammates too, man. When it like, because I had written to one of my teammates that actually put up the post prayers for Hamlin. I wrote to him. I was like, "Yo, man, this reminds me of this person," and he was like, "Yo, bro, like it took me back instantly, and like that shit, like made my emotions come back up and shit like that, because it's a scary thought, bro. It's a scary thought. Like you think that like if you're watching the game, like the um Adam Scheffner and this other guy, I forget his name. They were
Booger.
talking about,
Booger,
yes,
booger.
yes. They were talking about how like at that moment, like you're not worried about anything else but his health. Like you're just like, yo, forget everything. Like I just want to know if my dude is okay and if he's gonna continue living. You
Yeah,
know?
and to be fair, I think Shefty and Booger did, and Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Uh, I thought they did an extremely good job considering the circumstances that they were put in as well. Like, and coming from where we all want to be at the end of our, professional careers, and just thinking about the situation that they probably had to go through to get through that, like that's tough. And I think they really did an extremely good job of like what you mentioned, saying really like this game it has nothing, no part of this game could have any more importance than this kid's life. And they did a good
Mhm.
job portraying that throughout the entire, scary situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was looked at more as a human than an athlete, and that's what's needed in a time like that. Just I didn't see it with my eyes, but I heard that he just went down with cardiac arrest and his heart stopped. So I mean, to see that live, I could only imagine. You know what I mean? And so the fact that they didn't continue the game, that was good for the NFL. I'm glad that they didn't, because like you said, George, no one's gonna want to play after that. No, no one's gonna be like, the first seed's on the line, AFC's on the line. No one's gonna want to play after seeing something like that, because that's the game they play, that the beautiful game that they love, and they know that some things like that can happen. And they're not here. They're not superhuman. They're not heroes. They just play a game at an extremely high level, but they're still human. They're still vulnerable.
Yeah, man. Well, we're all continue to pray for him because he's still not out of there yet, but he is showing signs of improvement, so that's good. Um, Hopefully soon we hear that he could breathe on his own, like Justin said, that he's already squeezing people's hands and stuff, so his motor skills are coming back to him, and hopefully we hear better news sooner than later. But just jumping on to like more um up hype news. Well, not that much, but like the Denver Broncos, their 2022 season is over. They're not going to the playoffs at all, and honestly, very surprising for me, and I'm pretty sure for each of you, you're
Heard.
very surprised that the Denver Broncos are not going to even be in the conversation for the postseason. A few weeks ago, head coach Nathaniel Hackett was fired. He had a record of 4-11, and with the lowest scoring offense in the league at 15.5 points per game. It was the shortest tenure of any non-interim head coach in their franchise history. Now, Justin, just because it's your team, baby, we're gonna start off with you. Um,
He looks enthused.
First of all, I want to know how you felt about this season. Like, I want you to make it be known. Like, if the Denver Broncos are watching and they want to take some advice for you, and what exactly does Denver need to improve on for next season?
Rant
George,
incoming.
George.
You know, I love you, Doc.
I have an I told you so moment for everybody's team we're going to talk about. Because if everybody would go back to our preseason podcast, there's an I told you so moment for everybody's team.
Facts.
Logan tried to make me feel optimistic and say, I think they could finish first or second in the AFC West. And I said, Logan, pump the brakes.
I thought the same thing, though.
I didn't see this coming. I'm not going to lie. 4-12 is god awful. Okay. We can barely score. We've been robbed of $245 million. I'm not happy. Matter of fact, it was a point in the season. I started to boycott their games. Everything up, like I didn't watch 3 games. So I went to LA and saw the Rams game. And then I go sit down. I'm hyped. I'm like, I get to see the guys play. And
That's not much better, by the way.
I'm about to tell you what happened, man. By the time I got a drink and sat back down, it was 17-3. Baker Mayfield was looking like Peyton Manning. Cam Akers looking like prime Edgerrin James. I'm like, Tyler Higbee looked like Kelsey. I'm like, what the hell? I don't understand. I don't even want to wear this, but I wore it for the show. It's like, bro, I'm depressed. I'm not happy. I don't see any hope. We traded our first round pick this year. Next year, who knows what's going to happen in the 2024 draft. I'm praying we suck again to get Caleb Williams or Drake May, but just my freaking luck, we're probably going to be like 8 and 9, not even be able to get a pick with a quarterback. You know, bro, Russell Wilson, bro, I don't even play Sierra's music, and I love Sierra. I don't play her music. I play Future every day. I play Future every day. Bro, this is not cool. And then if you follow my Twitter at Sports Freezy, I literally have said for months, Jerry Jeudy is the best receiver on the team. I don't know how it's hard to see. But guess what? These dudes, I'm not going to call them idiots because they know more ball than me, but these guys, they didn't even use them till our season was done. Now you see him 100-yard game, 90-yard game. Now he's eating. And I'm like, why didn't we use him before? I just don't. And then the injuries. We lost Devontae. We lost Garrett Bowles. The only happiness I've even had is from Pat Surtain and the defense. And even them allowing 51 to Baker Mayfield is just god-awful. I don't know what to say, man. If I was the head coach, I don't even know if I would consider the job. Because you're tied in to an aging, height-challenged quarterback for 5 years. Bro, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, man. I'm hurt. I really don't want to watch the game this Sunday, but I'm going to because it's the final one. After that, pray for me because this is just awful. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Wait, Justin, there's no hope after that dog fight with Kansas City? No hope?
What hope? Russell Wilson is going to automatically revert back to 2016 Russell Wilson?
I give you some hope, Justin.
Please.
I give you some hope.
Thank you.
All right. I will say, to be fair, I did definitely think that the Broncos were going to be a lot better than what they were.
Same.
I also thought that they were going to game plan a lot better than they did.
Same.
I also thought Nathaniel Hackett was going to be a lot better than what he was.
I mean, at least 4-11, goddamn.
I mean, not even that, though. Like, just some of the decision-making throughout the season. I know I don't have to point it out to you, Justin, but there's just a couple, like there's clock management. There's a lot of things that, there's little things within a head coaching mind that you just need to have. And my God.
Can I tell you something real quick, Logan? Can I tell you something real quick? I should have known everything was going to go to hell when these boys had a training camp fight and he made the team hug. I should have known.
Again,
go ahead, Logan,
elementary school yard bullshit.
No, please. Justin, if anyone's going to interrupt you right now, I hope it's you.
Yeah.
I had him at 10-7. I don't know what you guys had him at record-wise. I had him at 10-7. I'm a
Ish.
failure.
That's what
I
I
had
had
him
him at.
making
Like,
wild card.
listen, you know what I didn't
Yeah.
have them have? I didn't have them being the worst team in the league in points per game.
Nope.
I didn't have them at number 24 in yards per game. I didn't have them at 31 for points per play. I did not have them at 26 for yards per play. Third down conversion, definitely didn't have them at dead last at 28.44%. I mean, I definitely didn't have them 30th for touchdowns per game at 1.6. I mean, I kind of figured that their rush defense was going to be as bad as it, or their rush offense was going to be as bad as it was. I kind of did figure that. Honestly, I didn't before the injury. I know, obviously, when Javonte goes down, that's a big blow to the backfield, and I just knew once that happened. I mean, I knew it was going to look bleak after that. I mean, I really did. And it's probably honestly the reason why they're low 20s in all the rushing categories and not dead last is because of the production that Javonte had early in the season. Your defense is great. And I do think that if Russell Wilson has a coach like, say, Pete, not Pete Carroll, but I mean, Sean Payton would be a guy that I think would be interesting. And if you put those two together, I do think that Russell Wilson still has good football ahead of him. I really do. I just don't understand how he could just fall off of a cliff that quickly, and that just, to me, it just feels like something was wrong with the situation. And obviously you're tied into that quarterback. Russell Wilson's not going anywhere. You mortgaged a lot for him. So to me, what other hope do you have than to ride him and hope and pray that the next head coach that comes in here that Elway and company likes is somebody that can maybe, just maybe, work with a Hall of Fame quarterback? Because the guy that they hired just was, I'm telling you, the schemes that I watched the Broncos a lot this year, and I bet on them a lot this year because, like you said, preseason, I was pretty high on them. So I'm telling you, if you have a guy that can actually have the mind of a head coach, Daniel Hackett was not that guy. And I know you agree with me. And, if you do get a guy like Sean Payton to come in here or somebody else of that magnitude, I'm telling you, that ship will turn around a lot quicker than you think.
I completely agree. I think Sean Payton going there would be the best thing for Denver, but it's obviously a long shot. But someone with some head coaching experience, I've heard Harbaugh actually is listening to head coaching offers in the NFL. And even Harbaugh, I mean, he wins everywhere. But I mean, the Broncos are still talented. I mean, if you guys scored 18 points in your first 12 games, you would have been 10-2 instead of 3-9. That's how good the defense has played. 18 points. That's all you needed to score in regulation. That's it. Came away with 3 wins instead.
It's funny when you talk about like how Jerry Jeudy is far and away, to me, the best wide receiver on that team. And it felt as if, like, for the first 8 weeks, like, they just were forcing the ball to Courtland Sutton and forcing the ball to every other guy on their roster. And I never really quite understood why. And to be honest, I agree with you as well, to the point where I think a Hall of Fame quarterback can realize that he's not giving the ball to his best skill position guy and make that change himself. But to me, again, the way that locker room was described throughout the year, and I know that Jerry Jeudy has come to the defense of Russell Wilson in the last couple of weeks and said, like, half the stuff that you guys talk about is just completely not true anyway. Like, we kind of just laugh it off as a team, which is something that I think is encouraging for the locker room, because I really do think the problem was the head coach. So I'll see if I'm right or wrong, obviously, next year, because we ain't going to see it this year. Sorry. I mean, that ship has sailed. But I really do think if they have the right head coach, then
if you guys can't see, for the people that are listening to the podcast, Justin is holding up a tweet that he put out. It says, Jerry Jeudy is the Broncos' best wide receiver, and next year he should be treated as such. And those are facts.
That's facts. Right? That's facts.
And like, Sutton's a great too.
Sutton's 6'4", like 215, 220. Like, that's why they want to give him the ball.
Devontae Parker. To me, he's a big guy that can go up and get the ball, but he's hurt all the time. And on top of that, he just doesn't have the explosiveness that Jerry Jeudy has.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jeudy is capable of things on the field that not a lot of people look at and can see because of the sheer fact that he just does not get the ball enough.
And his route running
Jeudy.
are crisp.
Yes. Most Alabama guys cough Jameson Williams. I don't know why you're not getting the ball either, but
hey, we're giving him time, bro. We giving him time. I understand.
Yeah, I agree. Injuries.
Yeah, he
but
came back.
Most Alabama
like
guys cough this guy too. They run routes extremely well. Facts. No matter their size.
Alabama receivers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, man, at Alabama though was fun to watch.
Filthy.
I wish they'd give him the ball.
That team. What was it? 2019.
It's killing me.
Yo, but my whole thing is right. Like it started week 1, bro. Once Javonte got out, that took a blow to the offense. Obviously, defenses are like, you know what?
Did
Javonte's
he go out
out.
week 1?
Week 4.
I thought.
Week 4?
I was
Yeah. You're right.
I thought he had a
It was
couple
early,
weeks
though.
in there. Because I had him in fantasy, and I was so happy with him for the first 3 weeks. I was like, let's go. Javonte's going to be tough. And
Yeah.
I
drafted him too. I drafted him in like 3 leagues. But even then, it still started week 1 with the whole, because I was going to mention this as well, with the whole coaching, letting 40 seconds run off the clock on fourth quarter when you could have won the game with 2 timeouts left. Time management, was out the window. I felt like it was my junior year back in high school when my coach did not know how to fucking run the clock, bro. Like, yo, all you got to do is play fucking Madden and you'll know how to run the fucking clock. So that right there pissed me off from the get. Like, him not controlling the game against Seattle when they could have won that. Like, you wasted 40 seconds to call a timeout with 10 seconds left and then do a fucking ridiculous play that didn't work out when you had at least 2 more plays ahead of you. Like, it was fucking ridiculous from that start, and then it trickled down. Like, I don't think Hackett had the skills to be a head coach. He's great. He where was he? In Arizona before?
Green Bay.
In Green Bay, he was offensive coordinator, right? Yeah, he was great there. He knew how to run the offense there, and this and that. But being a head coach is completely different, bro. You got to bring the team together. The aura of the team has to be like super glued tight. Like, it's just completely different running a whole team as an offensive coordinator. I'm sorry, as a head coach, and then just running the offense as an offensive coordinator. So from that get-go, I think it was just a trickle-down effect. And then Javonte Williams go out. Russell Wilson starts losing his confidence because the coach doesn't know what he's doing. Like, it was just so bad for the Broncos since the get-go.
It's funny from the start too, though, because like you think about it as like if you're the Broncos brass, right, and you're thinking about who you want to hire as a head coach last year, you're thinking in your head, well, we're interviewing the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Who is the real offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers? I'm pretty sure he wears number 12 and plays. Like, how much did Hackett really tell Aaron Rodgers what to do on the field?
But we know why Denver got him.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Denver got Hackett.
It was
to bring in 12, but that was never
exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah,
it was always the floor calling the play. So even looking back,
exactly. But it's just funny to me as like you're looking at the brass and you're like, all right, yeah. If the only reason you're bringing in this guy is to try to lure 12 here is like, I guess that makes sense. But also, like, oh man, what if we don't get 12 and then we have to do a backup plan with this guy? Then what's going to happen? Oh, now we are tied into a Hall of Fame quarterback. Don't get me wrong, that I really do think has good football ahead of him. But now we have no first round pick in a year that we probably would have had a top 5 pick.
It's at 2.
Yeah, Seattle got a nice little pick, right?
Seattle's going to sit there and take Jalen Carter or something, or a quarterback. He's going to take a quarterback. He might take a quarterback because Geno's bridge. Come on, let's be real. Geno's bridge, but
ain't playing bad though.
He's not playing bad, but Geno's bridge.
Not playing bad. No.
That man got drafted in like 2012.
He's not the future. Not the future. Obviously,
bad now.
But
he has been playing pretty bad last couple weeks.
It's inconsistent play.
That's why your Lions are flirting.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Hey,
Change it. Matter of fact, go segue.
I like that. I like that. I like that segue right
Transition.
there. I like that segue
Transition.
right there. Well, yeah,
We
it's
were just talking about the Packers.
it's
Now we talking about the
2020.
Lions.
It's 2023 for the Denver Broncos, but the Detroit
Oh, it's
Lions are loving 2022. Right now, they have a
All right.
chance at the playoffs. The Lions are 8-8, and they're looking right outside the window of the playoff berth. This weekend, they have to play their divisional opponent, the Green Bay Packers. In that game, whoever wins most likely moves on to the playoffs. So that's
Not
going
if
to be
Seattle
dope.
wins.
Now, if Seattle wins, yeah, that's what I was about to mention. If Seattle wins, then they get that 7th seed, and the Packers and Lions, both of them are out. So they need Seattle to lose, and then whoever wins that game between Detroit and Green Bay moves on. So starting off with Nick. Nick, how you feeling about your Lions, man? And finally going to make playoffs once again. Well,
I feel like we're
not
not
for
gonna
sure,
make
but
it. I feel
you
like
feel
we're
like
not
you're
gonna
not?
make it. Lions love to give me hope just to rip it away. It's happened so many times, and I can't put all my faith in them. I mean, Seattle's got a pretty easy game on the schedule. Obviously, any given Sunday, Rams could beat Seattle, but I think the Seahawks will come away with a win. And then the amount of heartbreaking losses we've had at Green Bay is very immense. I mean, a lot of people have seen Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary to beat us. I mean, he does crazy things against the Lions because we let him. So even if Seattle loses that game, I still think the Packers would beat us because they're on a hot streak. We did kind of stomp Chicago, but we also lost against Carolina in a game we needed to win, and we got completely dominated in that game. And I feel like the Packers are gonna win. I don't see us going in and winning. If so, that's a huge culture change because that's something I really don't see. Week 17 playing against the Packers in Green Bay, we lose 9 times out of 10.
And you guys already beat them once this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Aaron Rodgers threw 3 red zone interceptions.
Yeah. It was a bad game by Aaron
We
Rodgers.
didn't really deserve to win that game. He gave it to us. And
I will
that's
also
how
say,
I saw that.
though, I also think Detroit's defense has played extremely better than that game because
That's true.
that game
Not their
was
run defense, though.
yeah, that's true. But I do think
There's no
their second
defensive tackle.
their second yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. Your line is
Tough.
definitely in
But
for a
Houston,
battle.
James Houston, though,
Oh yeah.
that dude, he's gotten better and better every game. Watching him play him and Hutch on side, that's something I really like to watch. I mean, that reminds me of like an Ansa Sue type, but obviously not. I don't think that good because Sue was different. Sue took up every double, triple team, but
And
but I like where it's going.
if you're worried about the Seahawks and the Rams, I will say one of my friends is a really, really big Rams fan, like one of my best friends. And one stat he loves throwing at me, especially this week, is the Seahawks have not swept the Rams since 2013. It's been 10 years? So the Rams have had a pretty good go at Seattle for the past 10-ish years, and they lost to them in LA earlier. Seattle beat them in LA. So the last time they got swept by them was 10 years ago.
Yeah, we're asking Baker Mayfield to go into Seattle and win this game.
Listen, the NFL at the end of the day is an entertainment business.
That's
I think it would be very I think it would be very entertaining to see the game that they flexed to Sunday Night Football be for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've seen that.
Facts.
But that definitely could have been on purpose. You're not wrong. It is a business. They trying to make money.
A lot of people are going to watch that game if it's for a playoff spot.
Oh, for sure. And I know a lot of people are actually rooting for the Lions because no one wants to see Aaron Rodgers take that last spot.
And guess what? So wait.
I'm rooting for the Lions.
Let me ask you something. If Seattle wins and Green Bay wins, Green Bay gets in?
Yeah.
Green Bay.
If Green Bay wins, regardless, they're in. Seattle
great.
could win and Green Bay wins, they're in.
Great.
It's like the Dolphins and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, what you got, buddy?
No, Nick.
You a little quiet.
I just wanted to wait because I'm not gonna pull up the video, but if you go to my Twitter, August
Oh, no, I
22nd,
seen
we
it.
did a preseason podcast.
I don't think we do.
I'm gonna send y'all the video after this. I'm gonna send y'all the video. I think Logan liked it already, so he's seen it. I said, I think the Lions are going to be my regular season sleeper, and they'll be fighting for a playoff spot come the final weeks. And here the hell we are. So
Guys,
I'm not
fucking
really
analyst.
I'm not surprised by this beautiful team with Jared Goff and DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, St. Brown. Shout out to my St. Louis boy Jameson.
St. Brown's been on fire, bro.
Shout out to the guys.
St. Brown,
Josh Reynolds,
Great
DJ
fantasy pickup.
Chart.
Logan has said something I should have tweeted out hells ago. The defense has actually been playing very well. Maya's getting stomped out by the Panthers run game. So, I mean, at the same time, it's beautiful. Nick, I feel like you should be happy, honestly. Not content. I feel like you should be happy. This is like
I like the direction we're going, which is something I haven't said in a long time.
Yeah,
Because
the momentum is good.
We're doing the opposite of what we were doing.
Let me ask you something, Nick. All the reports obviously have come out recently that have stated that they like Jared Goff to build in the future. How do we feel about that?
I think he's being carried by a great O-line play. Penei Sewell, Decker, Ragnow. I think they're carrying him. He gives him a lot of time to throw the ball. And like you said, Amon St. Brown is a beast. J-Mo coming back, he's a beast. Reynolds, he's nice with it. Chark, he was a wide receiver 1 at Jags. Mm-hmm. And Chark has actually been pretty healthy this season. And if Goff hits that throw to Chark, we beat the Bills. I don't know if y'all were watching that game, but Chark had his man beat wide open. And
that was the Thanksgiving game, right?
To the sideline. He threw it to the sideline. It wasn't even close.
But that's when he started. That's when he flipped the switch, though. That's when he started playing consistently great.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of wide open wide receivers, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
It takes a lot. So first of all, shout out to Ben Johnson, future head coach.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't want him to go. His play calling has gotten so much better in the later half. It's so much better.
If Nathaniel Hackett hadn't messed up us signing first year coaches, I would have begged for Ben Johnson. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay. I digress.
Ben Johnson has really surprised me, especially how bad he started. But the play calling has gotten so much better. We're finally involving Swift in the past couple of weeks, which I didn't think we were going to, because we just kept giving Williams the ball, and that's fine. Obviously he led the league in touchdowns for a good bit, and so he can punch it in. But Swift is he brings a different open field game to the Lions. You know what I mean? You get him out in screens, you get him out in sweeps. I mean, he makes stuff happen towards the sideline. Yeah. And so I like the involvement of Swift more. But to answer your question, no, I don't think Jared Goff is the future. Logan, I think he's done great at limiting the mistakes, but
he has played good, though, Nick.
I think he has played good.
But I think you're in for a surprise, Nick.
Yeah, I think they're gonna stick with it.
I know what we're gonna do.
Because that man's young. That man's young, and they like him. They like him, and he's I will say for the longest time, obviously being an Eagles fan, I always thought as if Carson Wentz was miles better than Jared Goff. And
not now.
In 2023, I can truly sit there and say that Jared Goff, from not even just the standpoint on the field, but off the field as well, everywhere that he goes, the locker room likes him. He's genuinely a good person. And Carson Wentz, I can't say the same about that. So I think on and off the field for sure, it's definitely Goff over Wentz. And the Rams.
100%.
The Rams. I mean, obviously the Eagles got a first round pick for Carson too, so we kind of did the same thing. I mean, dirty business, but it is what it is. Howie does Howie. But obviously the Rams got what they wanted in a Matt Stafford Super Bowl and everything like that. But I think I would much rather be in Jared Goff's shoes right now than Matt Stafford.
I really think Stafford's going to retire. Honestly.
You said that he's
really see it. He said that, but he hasn't been playing. I mean,
No, but even
and
if one more bad
back-to-back
injury, though,
concussions?
yeah,
Yeah,
one more bad
back-to-back
injury,
concussions are
even if he
nothing
does
to
come
play
back.
with.
Say
Especially
that
he got a
too.
wife too, and he
Well,
probably
two is
listens to his wife, not like Brady.
no. The messed up thing is two is probably just fighting for that 4-year pension, bro. That's the same thing with Hamlin. Is I think that's fucked up. Is the fact that like the NFL can say all these things. Oh yeah, pray for him, pray for him, pray for him. They're not gonna do shit for this guy or his
Yeah,
family
nah.
because
Yeah.
guess what? At the end of the day, he didn't play his 4 years for the NFL to get his pension, so they don't care. So luckily, everybody else that actually gives a fuck about this guy, that's all else is still in the league. Like I know him and Miles Sanders were really, really, really good friends at Pitt, going back to Pitt and everything like that. Like, because the NFL doesn't care. All they care about is money. They money, 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 money,
Any
and it's
big time
intentional.
business, the same shit.
Yeah, and it's messed up.
Any league.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Any
because-
league, any corporation, any big time corporation, the same bullshit,
Yeah.
bro.
But
They'll
that's
throw
exactly this.
real people under the bus for it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that's exactly the same situation though. Like they're just fighting for their 4-year pension, bro. Like I get Tua just wants to play 4 years so he can set his family up. That's probably what his thought process is, because like you mentioned, he's been getting beat up, bro. Like it's the messed up thing is probably the 4 most gruesome injuries that we've seen on a football field have all happened in Cincinnati. Think about that.
Yeah.
AB,
Monday
AFC
night,
North.
week
AFC North.
week
They
4.
play like
yeah, dude. Antonio Brown, Ryan Shazier, now Damar Hamlin, and what's the last one I was thinking of?
Tua.
Tua, yeah, duh.
Tua, week 4.
yeah. So
he got whipped.
crazy.
Yeah, just sticking off of what you guys said. All of you made some great points about the Lions. Let me start off with Jared Goff. I think they're gonna stick with him 100%. They're not gonna draft. If they do draft a quarterback, it's gonna be probably 3rd, 4th round, just to have a backup back there.
And that's
but
fine.
they're gonna stick with him. He remember, he was a number 1 pick. Like that guy, he knows how to control an offense. Like Logan said, a lot of people like him. Anywhere he goes, he's respected, and people fall in love with his aura and stuff. And I think like after that Thanksgiving game, I think he like looked himself in the mirror and was like, "Yo, you need to beat that dude." And I think he started doing that. I think he started slinging the ball very well, running the offense very well. He has some great offensive weapons, like you mentioned, Nick. And I think they're just gonna move on from there. I think what they really gonna build on is your defense, because I think your pass defense is good, not the best,
great.
but it's top half of the league for sure. But your run defense is very, very like,
Need a defensive
iffy.
tackle. Bad.
You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
It's iffy.
We got the
It's iffy.
edges.
So I think you guys
Yeah,
are
we
gonna
need to-
improve on that. I think you guys are gonna draft there. Maybe even try to sign some free agents or make a trade maybe in the offseason. I think that's what's really gonna happen. But what I really like, bro, is the momentum that you guys are going with. Like after that Thanksgiving game, I think not only Jared Goff looking at himself in the mirror, but I think everybody was like, yo, we could do this. We need to flip this shit around. And what, they went on a 4-game win streak, right? Like 4, 5 game?
4.
4?
I think it was 4.
Dude, they started amping it up, bro, and it's awesome to see. That's the momentum you need. Now if you get into the playoffs, that's fucking awesome, bro. But if you don't get into the playoffs, yo, you look to next year, and I promise you, bro, I think Detroit is gonna be one of the top teams in the NFC, because of the aura that they got around going the team. Like if you even watch the HBO series, that you could tell that they're for each other. Like you could tell that they got the chemistry under this Dan Campbell. Like he's a good coach, a good players coach. Like he knows what it takes to win, and he's showing it to every single player out there on that field and in the locker room. So I think it's great momentum for you guys. I think it's looking very, very positive in your future. You just gotta fill in some pieces here and there and work a little together more. But other than that, man, I think you guys have a good chance this Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. I think the Packers do win just because it's in Lambeau Field. It's gonna be cold as hell. Detroit plays in the dome. Aaron Rodgers has been playing up to par lately, and their defense has been
history.
Yeah, like their defense is playing.
You
better
don't have to
for sure.
remind him. Nah,
But I agree though. I do
yo.
like Campbell, man. He is a player's coach. He gets people to play for him, and that's something the Lions haven't had ever. I mean, Caldwell. I was a big fan of Caldwell before he dipped, but
They have a couple guys in there, though. I'm telling you, yo, on top of Ben Johnson, I think Deuce Staley is another guy that's going to be a future head coach in this league too. He's got all of the qualities in the world to be a head coach in this league. And he interviewed for the Eagles head coaching job before he left ultimately, because when he didn't get the job as the Eagles head coach, they basically put him in the same position that he was in. And the Lions obviously were like, dude, we'll give you a bigger role, dude. Come work with us. Deuce Staley's a great coach.
Aaron Glenn, too.
Yes.
Aaron Glenn's and all of them as a unit have gotten better like every game in terms of like clock management, game calling, everything, play calling.
Yeah.
And it's like that's my favorite thing to see is how well of a coaching staff they are working together as a unit. Like Justin highlighted, Ben Johnson has been calling the game so much better in the later half of the year. And we got 9 picks though in this draft. We got 9 because of that trade with Minnesota and the Jared Goff trade. So that's why I think we should take one.
And that's another pick that's looking good too.
You'll take one quarterback for sure. You will.
I think we need, because Sudfeld is our backup. So if Jared goes down, like God forbid.
Nate, put some respect on my boy Nate Sudfeld's name, boy. I mean, that man slings it. Come on now. Boy slings it, yo. I'm telling you. Nate the Dimer Sudfeld, you don't even know, bro. You don't even know. I hope Jared Goff gets hurt now.
Oh my God. Logan, bro. I can't with this man.
That's what I mean. I didn't even know that.
The TCU QB though, he's not expected to go high.
Yeah, Max Duggan, he's good. There's a couple quarterbacks late in college this year that could be. Even Stetson Bennett. I don't think Stetson Bennett's going to be drafted anytime high. But I think
he's old.
Yeah, but some team will take a chance on him.
29, right? He's 29, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think he's 29 years old.
I think he's 34.
I got 4 years out of
him and Sean Clifford are 34, boy.
No. There's one quarterback that's 29 years old right now.
It's probably Sean Clifford.
It's not steady though, man.
It's not Stetson.
It's probably Sean Clifford, bro. Penn State's finest. That man's been in the league for 8 years. It feels like I've been waiting for Drew Hour to take over for that man, and just gosh, I'm gonna come back for a 9th year.
Shit, I got 4 years eligibility. What's good? All right, man. Just moving on. On this one, I'm going to include my team on it too. But right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are 1 win away from securing the number 1 seed in the NFC. They started off great first half of the season. Second season was good too, but when they lost Jalen Hurts, obviously not to a gruesome injury or nothing like that, he's just been out for a few weeks. They have been 0-2. Just want to remind you on that. The Eagles can have home field advantage all playoff long if they win this Sunday against the Giants. The Giants are already in the playoffs, so for them, it'll be a meaningless game. I wouldn't be surprised if they probably sit out some players so they could rest and stuff. But yeah, Jalen Hurts has been out for 3 weeks. This is going to be his 3rd game that he's going to be out. And like I said, they 0-2 without Jalen Hurts. So Logan, what do you think exactly the Eagles need to do this weekend to secure the number 1 seed in the playoffs?
Well, Jalen's not officially out yet.
True.
But
most likely he's going to be out.
Look.
Hey, not the little teacup, bro.
Look. Ready? Micah Parsons and Chris Sims are 2 people that have undervalued the MVP of the league, in my opinion, in Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you look at...
Wait, real quick. You think he's over Patrick Mahomes?
Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes is 13-3, and he started every game. Jalen Hurts is 13-1. Let's continue talking, though.
I disagree with that, but okay.
Plus, all right, ready? So, yeah, we're talking. We're just having a conversation.
Go ahead. So, I just wanted to make sure you thought.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if Jalen Hurts doesn't go down, he wins MVP. But I do think Mahomes will win MVP at the end of the day. But if Jalen Hurts never goes down and wins those games, because he would have walked into Dallas and handled the Cowboys, because they shouldn't even have won that game, because Gardner Minshew gave you that too. But Gardner Minshew is not – listen, you did 100%. Can't take it away from you. Gardner Minshew is terrible. He's not a good quarterback. And he just played himself out of a starting chance next year to be a bridge quarterback for a team like the Titans, a team like the Saints, a team that's quarterback needy, the Jets. He played himself out of that role. if you look at the stats, he's had more time in the pocket than Hurts has had this year in both those 2 games that he's played. He's thrown 2 interceptions. He threw 2 interceptions in that Dallas game. The first one completely just horrific. Like, it's not even it's not even out of the question. Like, how do you even make that pass? Like, at all, to me. Like, it's that bad. And then you walk into a home game against a team that you can, one, knock out of the playoffs. They were already they got knocked out later that day by the Bucs beating the Panthers, thankfully. But you can knock a team out of the playoffs that you have their first round pick, bro. And you can clinch the 1 seed for yourself. You would think that that is like the perfect storm for the Eagles to absolutely spank the Saints back to New Orleans. And no, because Minshew's playing. And it's like, I told everybody this before the game, and it's like, people really do undervalue this guy, Jalen Hurts. And again, Patrick Mahomes is having a great year. He always has a great year. He's the best quarterback in the league. He's the best player in the league for a reason. But the Eagles would have sat all of their starters for that Saints game and all of their starters for next game. Because I guarantee you Jalen Hurts walks. The Cowboys, to me, like, we'll get into this too, but like, you look at that game that they played against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Jaguars are going to win the bum-ass South. Great. Shady said it best, yo. Dak is ass. Dak is ass, bro. Dak is ass. He throws picks left and right, bro. Dak is
Still
ass.
support, baby. Still support.
I'm telling you. I love that you support him, but Dak is ass. So, like, to me,
I agree.
So to me, the Eagles should have the 1 seed locked up already, and the fact that Jalen Hurts is hurt is just scaring me for the rest of the year. I'd rather have Nick Foles back there than Gardner Minshew. I ain't even going to front. And Nick Foles is still playing terrible football. And he's hurt now, but he was playing terrible football last week and the week before that. And I look at this team, and it's like, to me, everybody knows the value of the quarterback position in this league. It's a quarterback league. You need a quarterback in order to sustain any type of success. Where they throw a bunch of interceptions, like Dak throws a bunch of picks, but he also moves the ball down the field pretty quickly as well. So, like, there's pluses and minuses to every guy in this league.
Yeah.
Their run game is terrible without Hurts in there. Terrible. Lane Johnson being hurt kills them. Lane Johnson, in my opinion, is the best tackle in football. I don't know how you guys think about that, but Lane Johnson to me is the best tackle in football. He hasn't given up a sack in 4 years. He's dynamite. Like, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You lose him, and then you lose your MVP caliber quarterback, I'll say. It's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. And no, I don't think they're going to win if Gardner Minshew plays, because Brian Dable already came out and said that he's not sitting anybody. It's full steam ahead for the Giants. I don't know how.
He did?
He did say that coming out in an interview after last week. But I also don't know how true that is, because Vegas knows a lot more than we do. And the Eagles were like 13-point favorites when the lines opened. I don't know what they are now. I haven't really checked, but I will tell you this. If Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback and Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are lacing up their cleats, and the rest of that Giants defense, if Thibodeau plays, if all those guys play, you will be seeing the Eagles traveling to fucking Tampa Bay again next week after dominating the entire league all year because of one injury, when in reality, you're playing the Chicago Bears, who have one of the worst run defenses in football. Why are you running your franchise quarterback 20 times and giving your running back, who's on a contract year that you might not even re-sign, that's a Pro Bowler, has 1,000 yards, 9 touches?
He shouldn't be a Pro Bowler, by the way, but okay.
He was, though. So I'm just stating the facts.
CMC got robbed.
Ready?
Oh,
so,
for sure.
Pro Bowl, Tony Pollard. He's that much better than Miles Sanders.
No. I'm not saying that.
That's what I'm saying, though. He was a Pro Bowler too. Like, you can say he was snubbed too.
Yeah, better stats than Miles Sanders, though.
1,000 yards, bro. No, he didn't have more touchdowns. That's crazy.
No, I said better stats. Better stats.
How do you know? He didn't have more touchdowns, and he was on a worse team. All I'm saying is, the fact of the matter is, he got hurt because of the game plan that they walked into Chicago with, and it was a shitty game plan. So you really can, to me, only blame the fact that Hurts is hurt on that game plan. And they've been downplaying the injury ever since it happened, in my opinion, as well. Like, after that Chicago game, they were like, oh, he'll be fine, guys. So he'll probably be back next week. Now look where we're at. It's like, well, I mean, is this even like, once the playoffs happen, is this guy even going to be able to come back then? It's like if he's not ready to come back now and take a game that they need in order to get the 1 seed, who's to say he's going to be ready when they actually need him in the playoffs?
I mean, it's a week separate, so a lot of healing that could happen then. But
I'm
I get what
saying
you're
though, but
saying.
they said that first week that he would be ready to play against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It hasn't been close.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough.
It is tough. And I know you're sitting there happy as hell because you're gonna get a little bye there. You're gonna be a little bye happy and everything.
I'm on the fence about it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If number 12 beats the Lions and they get the 7 seed, I guarantee you that they walk into Minnesota and beat them. I don't know if they'll go in and beat San Francisco. I think they would actually probably lose to the 49ers. But I guarantee you he would walk into Minnesota and beat the Vikings. And then guess where he's going? To kick your ass. Because Aaron Rodgers will beat the fucking Cowboys if he's the 7 seed and y'all are the 1. I guarantee it.
We'll see. Justin, what you got?
You really could, though.
I think when you put the little title in, it should be like the Justin Frazier "I Told You So" episode. Because
just put a quote.
Just put all my little quotes at the preseason and put them in here. Because Logan was a little questionable about his team. He knew they'd be good. But I was like, them boys went in the 1 seed because also I wrote about it. 14-3 right there. So, it's like I'm not surprised again. The Eagles, they're great. They're deep. Everything's good. Like Logan said, though, I hope Jalen comes back because I'm not disagreeing that he's not MVP caliber. We can say that for like another episode or whatever it may be, like an awards episode or something. But he's had a great year. He's had a great year, but this Eagles team, man, it's one of the deepest teams I've seen in recent memory.
Yeah.
Bradbury's having a hell of a year, not getting talked about. Slay is a great corner. CGJ got robbed he got robbed of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, so did Hargrave. They had a couple guys on defense that got robbed of the Pro Bowl. Brandon Graham's got 11 sacks. Man. Josh Sweat's got 11 sacks.
Reddick is great.
Hassan Reddick's a dog.
AJ Brown is great.
We might have to start having the Hassan Reddick, Michael Parsons conversation.
No, we're not going that far. That's why.
Fuck out of here, man.
But yeah, man.
I can't with Logan, bro.
Even if Philly doesn't get the bye, I would have no issue saying, "Oh yeah, they'll beat Tampa. Oh yeah, they'll beat whoever they play in the divisional round."
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, it all hinges on JH, bro. I'm telling you, it all hinges on JH.
Sure, it does.
I agree.
Because but Michael Parsons out there saying that it's a system quarterback, and like, oh, Eddie Minshew's gonna walk in there, and it's funny. Minshew walked in and made that defense.
Of course, you're gonna say that shit though, man. You got a divisional opponent. Of course, you're gonna say that.
He's just trying to get in his head.
Yeah, dog. Come on, man. Bro. You know what shit talk.
That's not what it was though. I'm almost positive. Listen. Chris Sims,
all right,
so explain Chris Sims then. Explain Chris Sims to me. Because they think the same way. And Chris Sims is not a divisional opponent. Chris Sims has no beef with Jalen Hurts whatsoever, other than the fact that he just thinks the same exact way that Michael Parsons does. And that has nothing to do with the fact that they play in the same division.
It's not even that he's a system quarterback. It's just that he does have more than the typical elite.
He has more intangibles than the average quarterback.
Not that. I'm talking about
he does.
You can find a picture from every game where he's got about 10 minutes to stand behind the line. Which is not a problem.
Who? Hurts?
Yes.
You can say the same thing about Gardner too. That's the thing that's scaring the shit out of me. No, that's the thing that's scaring me though. You get what I'm saying? Like Gardner will sit in there, have the same amount of time, and he can't run, so he can't get out of that shit. And when he does panic, it's thrown up. It's just like whoop. So everyone's got a chance.
But I'm saying this offensive line is great, like you said. Shout out to Lane Johnson. The whole offensive line is great. I could stand back there and pat that ball for 5 minutes, and you know what I'm saying? But Jalen Hurts makes it go due to his ability to run, due to his ability to run read option with Miles Sanders. Mm-hmm. That game against Green Bay was crazy. I believe they both had 50, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, like I said, of course, like you said, Jalen makes the whole thing go round. So hopefully he's back, if not this week, and y'all still handle business, the division round. But if you don't handle business, hopefully he's ready next week.
Nick, what you got, buddy?
The thing about Hurts that I don't think gets enough credit or people don't talk about enough is that his work ethic. A lot of people weren't riding on Hurts. They were like, this is his make or break year. Like, if he doesn't do it this year, then he's not it. And, like, a lot of people were still in Philly hating on this man last season. A lot of people forget And
Yeah,
he
but that's
coming
Philly
into
fans.
this season.
That's Philly fans. No,
I mean,
That's
look
that's
at
every
that's a
fan,
fact.
look at
That's a
boy.
fact.
look
Oh
at
That's a
my
fact.
gosh,
look at
that's
Joel
every
Embiid. Joel
fan
Embiid
base,
talking
boy.
about how Philly fans are like, oh, yeah,
Oh
you want me
my
out of here? I'll get out
gosh.
of here.
Yeah, and then look
That's
at
not
half the
every fan
and then
base.
then
That's
read
not
then
every
read the
fan base.
comments. Then read
But
the
okay,
comments,
okay.
bro.
A
Then
lot
read the
of people,
comments, bro.
other
Everybody
than
wants to
Philly,
play in Philly for a reason, George. That's why free agents flock here for a
No,
reason. They want to feel something.
no,
They want to make
facts,
sure
facts.
that people that they're playing for actually care about what they're doing, bro.
No, facts, facts.
Fake ass phony Cowboys
guys-
fans coming from all over.
Whoa,
Damn.
chill.
Damn.
Hey.
Damn.
Damn.
Dak's
anyway,
ass, bro. Dak's ass.
Can we stop that too, please? That is not ass, but just
No,
because
he's not. He's not. No,
He's
to
been
be
playing
fair,
ass this season. He's been playing ass.
to
though.
be fair,
No,
his
he really
interception rate.
consistency, bro.
Listen. Dak Prescott's not ass. He's definitely better than the average quarterback, but he's not much better than the average quarterback.
Y'all
That's all I'm
tripping.
saying, bro.
There's literally a pick against the Titans. It hit dude in the hands, in his chest, bounced off miraculously.
That's not his fault. 100%.
Yeah,
You're
I saw
right. He's a
that. I
top.
saw
Yo,
that.
he's a.
There's a few that
He's a
There's
top
a
10
lot of
communications. There's
picks
been
like
tip
that, bro.
drills, bro.
He's a
He
top.
just
he's in
forces
between
it
10
too
and
much,
15 to
man.
me, yo.
That's the
That's
shit
a
that I don't
fact.
like.
That's
I don't like
he
that
does.
forcing
That's
shit,
not
bro.
ass. That
He needs to go back to how the fuck he used to play before, and like, yo, if there's nothing there, throw that shit out.
Yeah.
Run the
He's
fucking
in between
ball.
10 and
Stop
15 to
fucking
me.
forcing it.
He's right. You know, he's in between 8 and 10. Dak is a nice B.
10 and 15 to me. I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
stopped
10,
that.
Just
15
because
to
a
me too.
quarterback is a B tier does not mean he's ass.
You're right. You're
This season, I
100%
think
right.
he's
I
been
just like the
playing
way
ass.
Shady. I just like the fact that Shady said it, so that's why I always say it.
Well, go
Dak's
ahead,
ass.
Nick, before we
Shady be
rudely
saying
interrupt you.
all types of out of pocket stuff.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Let's-
always.
So they all. That's how they
He's
get
a-
the clicks.
He's an attention
Oh,
grabber.
for
He tries to
sure,
do
but
that.
he's
That's why Shannon
he's
didn't
been
show up
going
this
kind of crazy.
Facts,
But
facts.
anyway, the work ethic of Jalen Hurts. I mean, you've seen it from when he went from Alabama to Oklahoma and now at Philly. Like, you see this man literally, you can see him changing his game, and he wants to get better. The thing that I really liked about him is that you could tell he wants to get better. He's not content where he at right now. He wants to make the team better. He wants to be better for the team. And I think you're seeing that the team without Hurts, you're seeing that right now. Minshew is not horrible. Obviously, he's an NFL quarterback. And you're seeing that the team's just not playing as great with him because, like Logan said, the intangibles. He can't run. There's no RPO. There's nothing like that anymore. So the game plan is completely different. And you just contain Miles Sanders without the option of the QB running, then that's all they got to do. Hold the run game and then just force Minshew to make the bad throw. That's it.
Well, and that's the thing too that's kind of been frustrating as well is Sirianni has come out a couple of times and like told the media that the game plan isn't going to change and that they're still going to run the same type of offense that they run with Hurts as they run with Minshew. And it's like you can't do it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
literally can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that it's not working the way that they think it's supposed to work. If you want to be able to run the same type of game plan, then you need a backup quarterback that plays the same type of way that Jalen Hurts does. And
like a Huntley.
well, and there's a couple like a Tyler Huntley or even, I mean, I don't know. There's a couple guys that you could spitball, and they're going to probably need a new backup because Gardner's on the last year of his contract anyway, and he's going to want a chance, at least a chance to fight for a starting spot somewhere, and somebody will give him that chance to at least fight in training camp for that spot.
New York.
Yeah, somebody will. But I agree with you 100% on Jalen Hurts and the leadership thing and everything like that. He's a coach's kid, and not a lot of people realize the fact that he's the first one in the building and the last one to leave every single day. And that's something that rubs off on everybody inside the locker room, bro. And you go, it's like a complete 180 from going from Wentz, who is all about himself, to this guy Hurts, who doesn't care about anything but the team. And it's nice, obviously, when you see the franchise catering to him, like going out and getting AJ Brown, who's not just one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league, but he's also his best friend. And it's like, I guess that there's no way that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, that's impossible not to work. They're best friends off the field, and on the field, they're both top 5 at their position. And it's shown this year. I don't know. Again, it all hinges on the quarterback to me. It's tough to see a world where Jalen Hurts doesn't come back in the playoffs, just considering all the reports and everything that I've seen. But again, if they go into this game and Gardner Minshew's the starter, like there's a very, very realistic chance that there's a very realistic chance that I might be taking a trip down to see one of y'all and then having to drive up to Tampa. Because I remember being in Florida last year for that game because the same exact thing happened last year. We were in the game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay first year, and Hurts was still throwing to lawn chairs, just like Wentz was. And besides D. Smitty was there. And Hurts was not the same quarterback that he is this year. So it would definitely be, and Tom Brady is surely not the same quarterback as he was last year, although him and Mike Evans did have quite an incredible game to down the Panthers. That was impressive. But
Can we talk about how good Mike Evans is though for like a quick second?
Dude,
that was crazy.
Like no one
super
talks
underrated.
About how
super
great
underrated.
He is. Made Baker Mayfield look like an insane quarterback at Oklahoma. But continue, Logan.
No, for real. He's like that, bro.
Like
no,
that.
Mike Evans is like. Wait, didn't he go to A&M?
Yeah, he went to A&M. He played with Johnny Manziel.
That's right.
Yeah, Manziel. He did make Manziel look good.
My fault. I got Baker and Manziel,
Baker and Manziel
like,
messed up.
Same person to me.
Nah, but they are.
But yeah, just
you're right.
Sticking with the Eagles and stuff, y'all made some great points for sure. So I'm not gonna even really say that much because I'm gonna just be repeating what y'all said. But Nick, I totally agree with you that Jalen Hurts, like his work ethic, like I told Logan, I think every single year he's gotten so much better. Like he knows where his weaknesses are and what he needs to work on every single year, every single season coming onto the field, and he does greatly in that. And his leadership, of course, like if it's not for him, I don't think that this Eagles team is where they at right now. I think that he is an MVP caliber quarterback. I don't think he's above Patrick Mahomes, but he is an MVP caliber quarterback. He does bring that aura to the team, and if it's not for him, the Eagles are not in the position that they are in right now. Even though their defense is solid, not the great, but it's solid. It's good enough to get them into the playoffs and even win playoff games. Maybe getting them into the conference championship, but they need Hurts. If Hurts is not there, one, they're not gonna go deep into the playoffs. Two, they're not gonna win this Sunday against New York if New York is starting all their players. I don't see them winning. I see the Cowboys taking that number 1 seed because I see us beating Washington for sure. Because we want to get that number 1 seed. We want to be at the crib playing every single game. But if Hurts does come back and he does play this Sunday, I see the Eagles taking the number 1 seed for sure. Hurts is just that dude that he knows exactly what to do. That's why I think Dak has been playing ass this year. I'm going to compare now to Hurts because Hurts knows exactly what to do. If his first option is not open, he's looking to the second. Second's not open, he's looking to his third. If those options are not open, he's running the ball. If he can't run the ball, that ball's going towards out of bounds. And that's the thing that I don't like about Dak right now because he's not doing that. He's trying to force shit. And it's pissing me the fuck off.
He tries to be Superman. And that's kind of what Wentz was doing.
No, we don't need that, bro. You need to be a game managing quarterback while also being skillful, and that's what Jalen Hurts has, and that's what Dak needs to do. So I'm gonna go off of the Eagles right now and just jump into the Cowboys, right? So our defense is fucking impeccable. You guys have seen it. Yeah, the last few weeks we have gone downhill for sure. But I think it's because of the whole them using their energy so much on defense. They're getting tired out there because our offense is fucking ass because of Dak. Like, I feel like that's the only piece right there that is making our offense bad because CeeDee Lamb is doing fucking work. Tony Pollard is doing fucking work. Ezekiel Elliott, 8 straight games with a TD. He's finally come back and emerging. Our offensive line is somewhat protecting Dak. Obviously, there's times that they can't, and he goes and forces the play, but it's just all riding on Dak right now. And if Dak doesn't get his shit together, I think we beat the Bucs if we go in that 7th seed, but after that, I don't think we win a game just because of the way that Dak is playing. He needs to play so much better than he is right now. We can't rely on the defense to bring every single game home for us. You saw it against the Eagles. Michael Parsons was calling for a fucking timeout on that last play of the game because he was so damn tired. Like, we can't have that every single game. We need Dak to step up, and we need him to do work coming into the playoffs.
Dak has stepped up, though. The Eagles game, Dak was really good. The Jaguars game, he was good for a half, and then the second half was like a little But overtime wasn't even his fault. Noah Brown, you gotta catch that, buddy. That bounced off your hands, pick 6.
Yeah.
He was good against the Titans. That has been relatively good. And since he came back, the Cowboys are like first in almost every offensive category or second. And see, you said CD doing work. CD can only do work if Dak doing some type of work. So it's like, I feel
But
like
the thing is,
harsh on Dak.
my bad to cut you off, but the thing is that he does good. I'm not saying that he's playing terrible because I don't think he is a terrible quarterback. But the reason I say he's playing like ass is because you know what it is when it comes to sports, bro. One mistake will turn a whole game around. And if you're forcing a ball, like let's say double coverage, or forcing a ball to try to get make a Superman play, and you make a turnover, that turnover could cost us the game. Sometimes you just need to throw it out of bounds and get the next play. I get it if it's third down. If it's third down, you got to make something happen. But if it's second down, first down, and you force the ball and make a turnover, bro, like why? Why?
Well, look what he did against Philly. Philly really probably should have won that game because the Dallas defense was really getting messed up. If we giving it $150, I was really getting lit up by Gardner and the boys. You know, a bad fumble by Miles, some picks by Gardner.
Terrible turnovers in that game, boy. I mean, terrible. Like 4 turnovers. The Eagles had 3 turnovers all year going into that game and had 4 in it.
But now you look at Dak, and Dak saved that day because he was able to score. And he played really well, minus the first drive when he threw the pick 6.
Yeah, that was a terrible throw. I mean, that was a god-awful throw. Besides that, you're right. He did,
we would have won by 2 touchdowns.
But I'm saying, like, Dak is good, bro. You just have to understand, like, you're not getting Patty Burrow-esque level play. You're getting, like, you know, Dak, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins level play. It's like, he doing what he can do, man. He doing the best he can.
I just look when I think of Dak. I watched one game from start to besides the games that they played against the Eagles. I watched 2 games that they played from start to finish. Dallas, that is. One was against Green Bay, where realistically they should have won that game, in my opinion. I think Dak gave that game away. And the second one was against the Texans at home. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he threw 2 interceptions in that game that were not good, like were ugly. Mm-hmm. And they should have lost that game to the 1-12-1 Texans at home. Like they should have lost. And Dak did come back, lead that drive down the field to win the game. Look, to me, the recipe for the Cowboys is simple in terms of success. Run the ball, take time off the clock, and keep the defense off the field because, in my opinion, I do think that defense is vaunted. It's very, very good. But injuries have plagued everybody this year, and it's no different with Dallas. They're getting some guys back there. I think their linebacker core is still weak, in my opinion. They have one of the weakest linebacker cores in the league, in my opinion. They have one of the best defensive lines, but so do the Eagles, I will say. You did talk about how the Eagles have a mediocre defense, and I will say they have the best defensive line in football. In my opinion, that's without question. They broke the Bears' record for most sacks ever. They have like 5 guys over 8 sacks. Like they are dogs. Like they get at it and get active. Their secondary has been great. Slay and Bradbury have been top 2 or top 5. I'd say those 2 have been throughout the year, especially in PFF. Their safeties have been hurt. That's the thing that's kind of killing them. CJC was great when he was playing. Like you said, Justin, I think he should have been a Pro Bowler as well. When it comes to the Cowboys, I think Curse has been great. I think Dace is taking tremendous strides forward in terms of coverage. He's not that ball hawk that everybody knew that shit was not going to happen every single year. Like he had an absurd amount of interceptions last year. Like that was great, but he was terrible in coverage. Like I would much rather have the Diggs that's playing this year than last year, in my opinion. He's paid a lot better in coverage, one-on-one, and he doesn't have as many picks to show for it, but again,
he's not being as aggressive towards the ball. That's why.
Yes, exactly. But he's trying to limit the big plays that he was giving up all year. And I think that's another reason why the Cowboys defense is taking a tremendous step forward is the fact that they have guys in the secondary now that knows that the defensive line is going to get home. They'll force the turnovers. You just have to be in the right position because Micah will get home. Like they're all going to make plays. Yeah, exactly. They're all going to make plays and force the quarterback to make the mistake. Like, for example, the 2 interceptions that you had against Gardner Minshew. He's like, oh, here comes 11. Throw it up. And it's like a Hail Mary. It's like you never know what's going to happen. And I think that's what Dallas kind of has to realize is like the D-line's going to get home. if you guys are in the right position and you're in the general vicinity as the wide receiver, you're going to be able to make a play on the ball, regardless of if it's a pick, a deflection, anything like that. They're good enough to be able to stick with them. The problem with them is if you run into a very good tight end, a Dallas Goedert-esque, you wouldn't run into Kelsey until the Super Bowl, but a guy like that who can, or Tunyon has been playing great for Green Bay. If you run into a tight end that can downright dominate whoever is trying to guard him one-on-one, that would be your biggest problem to me on defense. But Dallas, to me, it's all about running the ball. Tony Pollard, like you said, has been great all year, and you have that good 1-2 punch with Zeke, whereas if Tony Pollard does get hurt, I would use him as tired, use him as the first and second down back, and then just have your boy Zeke there. And it's like, by that point, the offensive line is good enough to where Pollard should be averaging around 3 to 4 yards per carry. So if you're in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 situation at that point, it's like either Dak has to make a short pass that he can make, because when he gets the ball out quick, that's when he's at his best, or you give the ball to Zeke and you're in 4-down territory. Like, I just don't, I think a lot of the times McCarthy and company overcomplicate what they really need to do, because their game plan, to me, is quite simple. Run the ball, chew clock, keep your defense off the field as much as possible so your defensive line has all that energy to rush the quarterback and make sure that the secondary doesn't get there, because nobody really runs on y'all. So, I don't know.
Kind of like a Rams type.
Yeah.
Run the ball, open up the pass.
Exactly, because when that play action does open,
defense off the field,
you're gonna have 88 down the field wide open because he gets free
that boy,
every time. He gets free. So when you open that up, it's a dangerous game. But they just try to throw too much, and then when they try to get to the run game, when the run game is just, they'll give it to him once, and then they'll give it to Dak 3 more times, and it's like, just run the ball, bro. Like, you don't need to do all this. It's really not that complicated.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. Hey, playoffs are around the corner. It's gonna be a dope 2023 playoffs. Pray for all of us. Pray for all of us, especially Justin. You gotta pray for him.
Wow.
God damn.
Oh yeah, no, for real.
Take this shit off.
It's gonna be dope. It's great, bro. Great conversation, man. We went on for a little while right now. Obviously, I'm gonna have you guys back on, but before we get out of here, man, put in your plugins, man. Let the people know where they can watch you, listen to you, and where they can see all your stuff.
Go ahead, Freezy.
Instagram, Freezy Sports, Twitter, Sports Freezy, TikTok, Freezy Sports.
Damn, with some energy, boy. God damn.
My man's sick over
I'm
there.
depressed, bro.
Speaking of the Broncos.
He's sad.
Go ahead, Logan.
You can hit me at Logan Peter 9 on all socials, and then ESPN 1060 Washington soon in the summer, bro. Play-by-play for some baseball.
Let them know what's up. Let them know what's
1060
up.
ESPN Washington. That's where you got to be. You'll hear me every night, 7 o'clock. Yakima Valley Pippins. Me and y'all will have a conversation. You won't talk back, but you'll hear me.
Play-by-play announcer right there for a minor league baseball team. That's what's up, baby. Nick, where you at?
IG at Nick J Wilk TV, and on Twitter, Nick J Wilk.
Someone tell Nick to post more.
Yeah, for real. Someone tell him.
Nick's got to use that fucking camera that he got.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at GMike Perez, IG, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast, the audio version, is under the G Perspective on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Y'all already know what's up, baby. My boys, hey, great conversation, man. Hopefully the Cowboys play the Bucs. Hopefully the Cowboys lose so we can play the Bucs, so I can go to that fucking game next week.
Oh, that'd be nice. Hey,
yeah,
let's
that'd
go.
be fire. That'd be
Let's
fire.
all root for that. Yeah. Let's go see their team. Let's go.
But hey, thank you guys, man. Hey, for sure, I'm gonna have you guys back on. Hey, it was good talking to you guys again. We all graduated and we all moving on to bigger and better things, baby.
Yes, sir.
So
Appreciate you.